Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, hey, how are you? How are
Listen,
you?
I am absolutely amazing. Listen, guys, this has been a long time coming, and I am super, 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 super excited to have this gentleman on this evening with me. My name is Dr. RuthAnn, and this is just Conversations with RuthAnn. Talk it out with RuthAnn. Like, let's have a chat.
That's it.
And,
That's
you
it.
know, and this gentleman right here, I'm not going to give you all his accolades because I'm going to allow him to go into more detail, but I want to tell you how I met him. These conversations are just going to be about networking and network marketing because network marketing gets a bad rap. We got to admit it. We just get this bad rap, but it's an amazing industry to be in, like a phenomenal industry to be in. And I met this guy in network marketing. Like literally 5 years ago in a company, I met this gentleman. And the funny thing is that I used to hear him on a call. Like literally hear him on a call. And I'd be like, oh, that guy sounds cool. I need to meet him, and literally, as the circle goes, an opportunity came about, and literally he was standing in front of me, and I'm like, that's the voice. And so it's just amazing that in network marketing it allows you to meet some phenomenal, like I'm talking absolutely incredible individuals. So without further ado, we're going to jump in as I torture my big brother. I'm going to torture him out tonight with some questions that, of course, my questions just disappeared off of my screen. So let me pull up my phone. But I'm going to go through some questions because I just want persons to know that this industry is for real. It's a legit industry that just gets a really bad rap. That's all I can say. But listen, Mr. Trahan, who is Tim Trahan? Let's start there. Who are you? Who is this
Well,
beast of a man?
that's
Who are you?
that's it has a whole lot of layers, right? It has a whole lot of layers. But just in essence, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a son, a brother, a friend. I'm all of those things that um, you know, I guess makes me who I am. And a lot of times in network marketing, um, when you've achieved a certain level of success in the industry, people see you as something that's out of the stratosphere. But I'm just a ordinary, everyday guy. As you can see, I got on sweats right now and a ball cap. I just came back from the gym. So that's who I am. And with the industry being what it is, I think it's good for people to see that even though you have these industry moguls, if you will, we're just ordinary everyday people that just chose to do some extraordinary things. And I think that's who I am in a nutshell. I mean, you know um, I was a former professional athlete that my life and my career was flipped upside down due to injury. So I had to kind of figure it out. And the reason why I say that is because you know when you prepare your life for something your whole life, that's what you are, right? And so my whole identity was wrapped around being an athlete. And then when all of that went away, literally like that, in the blink of an eye, I found myself in a situation where I really didn't know where to go. I didn't have any direction. um I knew that I had the degree and all of that stuff and I had options, but I'll be honest, man, I went into like a somewhat of a depression for about 3 or 4 years. I couldn't watch football on TV for that whole time period, seeing guys that I played with, guys that I played against, and all that stuff, and they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars, and I'm sitting at home on the couch, with the woe is me. But I kind of shook myself out of it. I had a really good career at the time, so I was blessed. I was a engineer by trade, so I made good money. So that wasn't the deal. But I just knew that wasn't it. I knew it had to be more. It wasn't
Right.
just about me making a lot of money in my career. I felt empty. I felt like it was something missing, and I was introduced. You know,
Hold on, I don't know. You know, don't take over, Mike.
go ahead,
Don't
go ahead, go
hurt,
ahead.
hurt, 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 hurt. Okay.
Mhm.
So, why did you choose the industry, or do you think the industry chose you?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that because that's where I was about to go. Um, my very first company actually happened. It was a long distance company, and you know those long distance companies where you try to get all your family and friends to switch to long distance over. I didn't even know what network marketing was. I was in college. And my brother just called me one day and said, "Hey man, can you get all of your teammates to switch their long distance?" And I did, right? And all of a sudden, you know, they started telling their parents, and their parents started telling everybody, their friends and stuff, about these great long distance rates that they were getting, and being able to talk to their kids that might be in other places. And before I know it, you know, I was getting a check, you know, a couple of $100 a month that my brother was sending to me, and I didn't know where it was coming from. I just thought he was being generous, but I didn't know he was making thousands of dollars, and he was he sent me.
And you
So
were
that
getting
was
a
my
portion.
exactly. So that was my introduction to the industry. Didn't even know I was in it. So I guess you could say it chose me because
Wow.
that's how it happened.
So why do you think from, from the inception of you getting involved and really not
Mhm.
knowing that you were involved in something and evolving in the industry, why do you think it gets a bad rap?
You know what? I think the industry gets a bad name because of bad people in it.
Mm.
I
I
think
guess just like anything else in life, I guess.
right, absolutely, because you have people that see people as a means to an end, sees people as dollar signs, as opposed to seeing people as people that's striving for better and trying to help them achieve those goals. They don't see people like that, and you have bad leadership. And I'm a firm believer in that's what gives the industry a bad name, because then you got people that jump into to some things, and they've never really been trained before, and now they have a sour taste in their mouth because they got in, they spent their money. The person that introduced them kind of just left them by the wayside to their own vices, never trained them. It's kind of like, if you and we did a training earlier today, so this is definitely applicable. If you go to a Fortune 500 company and you're fresh out of college, but they don't give you an orientation, they don't give you the training manuals, and they just push you out there and say go get them,
Hmm.
and this is something that you've never done before,
Right.
and
And
expect to
they
be
kind of just leave
successful.
you to swim.
There it
And
is,
then
there it
suddenly
is.
you
So
drown, and then you're like, oh my God, I drowned. I died from not being able to swim. But
absolutely, absolutely. And I think the large majority of people that have that experience, that's why I guess that's why they feel the way they feel about it. Because if you talk to people that's had a pleasant experience with the
mm,
industry, they're industry fans. They will, look to try to find the best thing that's possibly out there, because they understand, that the industry is what it is. More millionaires come from this industry than any other industry in the world. I mean, this is the only place where you could take the average everyday person, and they can come into this thing and learn some skill sets and become a multimillionaire. I've seen it several times over, with people that, and you look back at them and you remember where they were, and you say, "Wow, I can't believe that guy." And I don't want to say any names, but
yeah,
there's
I know
plenty of
exactly
people
what you
in the
mean.
industry that when you look back at it, you're like, "What, that guy?" But I mean, it is what it is. Yeah.
Well, I know you tell the story of I think your neighbor who came and shared an opportunity with you that kind of
Hmm.
basically changed your life, because then that
Yes.
really flung the doors open, because you just got like a dabble taste with your brother or your cousin,
Right.
but your neighbor was the one that said like, "Hey, dude, come, come,
Yeah.
come, come." So
Yeah.
how did that go?
Well, it was really funny because he and I, we would see each other every morning, because he was an executive at Federal Express, and I was working for I was an engineer for the telecommunications company at the same time. And oddly, we would be on the freeway. We would leave our driveways, go get on the freeway, headed in the same direction until we got to a certain part of the highway, and he would go left and I would go right. And then one day, uh, I started to see his lifestyle begin to change, and I
Mm.
started to see the new vehicles coming. And then I started noticing when I was getting up early in the morning going to work, I wasn't seeing him anymore. you know, uh, and
He's sleeping in.
exactly right. He was literally sleeping until he was done sleeping. And he came to me one day. He said, "Man, Tim, I want you to take a look at something. I've been experiencing some success. I think you'll be great at it." And the first thing I thought was just like probably all of us, man. That's just one of those things, man. That might work for you. That's not for me. And I thought that I had arrived. And I say this when I tell my story all the time. I had two really nice vehicles. My wife drove a Lexus. At the time, I was driving a Mercedes Benz. We had a really nice house. But in the grand scheme of thing, I was broke at a different level. And I thought I had all the trappings of success, but I really wasn't successful. I really wasn't. I wasn't helping anybody. I wasn't. I was just making a lot of money and spending a lot of money. And he said, "No, really," and he kind of tricked me into to going to a Super Saturday. And I tell this story. This might be the first time a lot of you guys have heard this story, but I was literally in my front yard one day cutting grass on a Saturday morning, and I had on sweats, cutting grass, and he had just bought a brand new Lincoln Navigator, and he was like, "Hey man, come take a ride with me." So I said, "All right, cool." So we're driving, and I was like, "Man, this is a really nice vehicle." My wife wanted an SUV at the time, and so I'm like, "Okay, I could probably trade her Lexus in, get her a SUV." And we were driving, and then all of a sudden he makes a left into this parking lot. So you had a car dealership on the left side once you made the left, and then you had the hotel on the right. So instead of him making a left into the car dealership, he made a right to the hotel. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe he's having lunch, with the GM at the dealership, and he wants me to talk to him about getting a vehicle, because he and I did discuss, me possibly looking to purchase another car. But no, that's not what it was. It was a Super Saturday event, right? A network marketing event. And when we walked in there, you see all of these sharp people. You can imagine Super Saturday, everybody's dressed in their Sunday best.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting in the front row with sweats on. So I'm sitting there with my arms folded. I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm like, I can't believe this guy. Hold on. So my phone is ringing off the hook. Hold on one sec. All right. So my phone, sitting there front row and
Mad and angry, arms
mad,
full. You
mad.
don't want
But
nobody talk to you. Don't ask me no
don't
questions.
ask me any questions. But the thing about it was a gentleman that was at the front of the room. And he was making more money in 1 month than it took me about 6 months to make as an
Wow.
engineer with a degree. And
Right.
he started talking about some different principles. He started talking about, linear income versus leveraged income and all of this stuff. And what he was saying, it was just making sense. And I'm saying, well, this guy, I was 29. Well, 20, I wasn't 29. I was about 29 years of age at the time. He was about maybe 31 or 32. He was doing, like I said, about $32,000 a month. I
Wow.
knew people. Sorry about that, guys. Let me turn this light back on. I knew people made that kind of money, but I thought it was entertainers and professional athletes. That's it.
Right.
I never saw a regular person, that wasn't in
Pulling that
those
kind
industries.
of money.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of that night, I sat down and I had a chance to talk to him, and he said, "No, really." He was like, I'm a just a regular guy." He used to be a postal worker, uh, and he just told me his story, and it was very intriguing. And he was like, "Well, listen," he said, I'm part of your upline." That's what he used to call it. And then we switched the terminology to success line,
Right.
just because we want to ensure that people have success. So he was like, it's part of your upline. I'm gonna make sure that you're successful. I'm gonna take it as my personal responsibility. And first month with that company, $800. By 3 months in, I was at 3,000. By 6 months, matched full-time income as an engineer. And at
Wow.
that time, I really began to take it serious. So by the time I turned 29, I had told my wife, I said, I think this is it. This is what I want to do. This was the only thing that gave me that exact same feeling as when I was on the football field playing football. Felt the exact same way, and that was something
So
that I
you
was
had it, so there
missing.
was a satisfaction that you were getting
Oh
out of the
man,
industry
yeah,
itself.
adrenaline junkie. If anybody has ever been involved in sports, especially football, it is a feeling like no other. And this was the only thing that made me feel that way. And my wife saw my happiness come back.
Like that
She
glow in the eyes, the
yeah,
excitement,
she
the
she
awakening
started
in the
to
eyes again.
yeah. So it was just that was it. That was like at that point I knew I was in love with the industry, and wasn't nothing anybody could say. I didn't matter of fact, I didn't care what anybody else said. It mattered not to me. And if you come along for the ride, great. If you
If
choose
you
not
don't,
to,
just leave it
I'll still
alone.
be here. You know
So
what I
so how
mean?
many so how many years have you actually been in the industry now?
So if you count um
I mean, I don't want to say
the
your age
the
or nothing.
very first company, the telecom company that I didn't really know I was in, I was 20 at that time. And then it took before it came back around until I got serious. So, subtract those 8 or 9 years before.
Right.
So it's been over, well, I'm 50 now. So it's been well over 20, 25 years
Oh, wow.
that I've been, serious in the industry. So yeah.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So I know now we're a part of a company, and people know that I am a part of companies. I have a brand of companies myself under the Island Girl
Mhm.
Healing brand because I deal with product-based products. But man, you called me and
Mhm.
sent me some information a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." Here we go. Here we go. Here we
Right,
go.
right, right.
On the wheel again. But I was like, I'm a person, I'm a believer of, I can't remember what book it is that says, you know, people of with success are quick to make decisions. They don't,
Mm,
well, I wonder, maybe, do you think?
right,
I'm a person, you tell me something, I jump in. Now,
right,
if I lose, I lose. But if I win, I know I'm going to win big.
right,
And
right.
so that's just who I am. And
Yeah.
so when you came to me, I did jump in. Like, I didn't
Mhm.
really know what it was. I was like,
Right,
and I kind of left it on the side there, little over there,
right, right,
and you kept
right.
on sending me stuff, but it was over there, you
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
But and it's a company called BFX. So what is BFX? Stand
Well,
for.
it's a financial literacy platform, and the B and the FX just simply stands for blockchain meeting forex. And if anybody knows anything about those two things, those are two of the, if not the largest financial platforms in the world. Just from the digital currency side, we're talking about trillions of dollars being traded every single day. And then from the foreign exchange side, it's $7.7 trillion a day moving in the market. So you combine those two markets and you have like a tsunami, a perfect storm of things. And I'll be honest, I was kind of like on punishment for a while, because I was on the corporate side of another company for a little while. So I really couldn't do anything. And honestly speaking, I wasn't even thinking about doing anything until my godmother, who's on here, she actually just called me and told me she put me in something and that I needed to jump on a
Hey,
Zoom.
the secret sauce where people be like, "Oh, here's your account information."
Right. So, but when I jumped in and I saw who it was, a young lady by the name of Miss Megan Lynch, her and I had did some really special things together. It was a no-brainer for me at that point, and I'm like, okay, finally the chains are off. I'm free to actually start to build business again. And I started to reach out to some of the leaders that I had done business before, and that was you. But to answer your question about BFX, It's a serious financial literacy platform that really educates people with no age restrictions. That's why I love it as well, because my 15-year-old son can participate. Well, is participating.
Right.
But it teaches you everything that you need to know about financial literacy, as far as learning how to trade in the markets and learning how to make money actually work for you. And that was just so intriguing to me, um, to be able to be part of, a school, if you will, like that, where you don't have age restrictions, and you can truly teach your children and grandchildren the true value of money. So, it was just it was an awesome opportunity for me to do something special from that standpoint.
Yeah, I know. I've been in the back going through actually the school of the mind and everything, and it is detailed,
Hmm.
guys. Like, I have been on platforms, I have done the education, and normally it's a computerized video
Right.
giving you information, very monotone. No, literally, you're getting like a live human being telling you, speaking to you, sharing with you, giving you leaflets, stopping you along the way, having questions to answer. And I'm like, this thing is detailed, not letting you jump ahead and
Right.
skip and be like, go to the end, go to the end.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And listen, I'm like, this and I am blown away by it. Like,
Mhm.
from a perspective of the financial education, I am blown away. And people don't understand. Once you can capture that and understand that,
Right.
you think network marketing is the way? Like, that's a whole another set of,
Right.
money right there. But
Yeah.
curious question, why do you think the network marketing model does make so many self-made millionaires? Why do you think it's capable of doing that?
My honest opinion of that is there's no ceiling
Mm,
attached to it. I mean, there's no cap on the type of income that you can make, and I think that's why, folks that decide to really get hungry and take this thing seriously to the next level, they do some extraordinary things, and you're talking about, regular people. I mean, you're on the conference calls with me every day as well. It's not like we got a bunch of, doctors and lawyers and people that come from all of these highfalutin, um, special, professional, careers. It's everyday people, and it's like-minded people, where we're able to truly create a community, of thought that takes your mind to the next level. And once you see what really can be achieved and attained, and you have the support system to do it, that's why the industry takes off the way it takes off. And that's why people, that really take it serious, and follow the lead of the leaders, and do the things that's asked for them to do. That's why they had a success.
do you think,
It's
and Akira, another question to even jump off of that, do you
Mhm.
think that when people hear all this money, you
Mhm.
know you can make in this industry, do you think it starts screaming at them, scam?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
without a doubt.
and why do you think that? Like,
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
because like,
Because people just don't.
I know I'm always so scared to say, well, you can make 20,000
Yeah,
a month or a
yeah,
100,000 a month, because everybody like,
right. Yeah, really, 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 really. Because I like how Megan puts it, still confused about money, and that's
yeah,
that's really what it is. People don't really understand, because they have, limiting beliefs. They can't see past where they are, and even with a lot of us that's had a lot of success in the industry, sometimes, we tend to talk above people's head.
hmm,
You just got to meet people where they are, right? I'm not going to talk to somebody about making $100,000 a month, and they might make $60,000 a year.
right.
They can't fathom somebody making more in 1 month than they make in 1 year, until they start to experience the success. So when I talk to people, I meet them where they are. It's like buttons on the elevator. You pick
Yes,
the
right.
floor that
Yeah,
you want to
don't, yeah,
start.
don't go crazy. Don't go a little
Yeah,
crazy. Don't go to
right.
the penthouse talking about you got
E-
the key.
Exactly, exactly. So I think that's the deal though. It's limiting beliefs. People only can conceive what their mind will allow them to until they've experienced somebody that's made $100,000 a month,
Right.
or one of my mentors in the industry, at one point in time he was at about a million and a half a month.
Wow.
And at that time I think I might have been at maybe 35 or $40,000 a month, and it kind of lifted the ceiling of my belief level, because I thought that $50,000 a month was a whole lot of money until you sit next to a guy that's making $1 million a month, right? And now it's all relative. So you know but until those people begin to lift their ceiling, their personal ceiling, then that's when they'll start to believe it. So first thing we got to do is get them to make 500, right?
And this is
Once we get,
that's where I was going
yeah,
straight there. So I was gonna say, now the question, everybody, because everybody been asking me this. Like, I
right,
mean, I put it out there on TikTok. I got like 50 hits. People like, okay, I want to know. Tell me, I want to
right,
make this
right,
extra 500.
yeah,
500.
exactly, exactly.
So I need the secret sauce, man. I need the secret juice. Like, how? Spill it. They
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
know.
yeah. It's real simple. The way that this company, our company, BFX, pays you is kind of like a no-brainer. So whether you're on the side where you're getting the education, and learning how to trade to make $500 a month, or you build leverage, it just so happened I know how to trade, but I prefer to build leverage. So how do we build leverage? You get a large group of people to do a few simple things over a consistent period of time. But with this particular platform, you know, it's really about helping three people that love and trust, right? That's my deal. That's the three people that you would love to build business with, that you would love to help, people that'll run with you. I'm a firm believer in it's easier to run with 100 than it is to drag one.
Mhm.
um, but that's who you want, and you help them to be able to get their education for free, right? Which means they have three people that they know, love, and trust, that wants to make a little bit of extra money. And then as you have a team of people, three of which you personally introduce to the platform. Once again, I said to the platform because everybody doesn't want to come in here and be a big network marketing builder, but everybody wants to know and learn about financial literacy. It only makes sense, especially in today's economy. I don't know about you guys, but the price of eggs are ridiculous. And
I love how I love how Megan said for Easter we'll be having
paint
potatoes.
painting potatoes. Yeah. But that's it. That's it in a nutshell. It's that simple. And you're showing people, and we have a proven system that we use that'll get people to, first and foremost, getting their education for free. And that should be the overwhelming goal, is to show people how to get a free education, right? And then after we help you get your free education, then we're going to help you help your people get their free education. And then when that happens, boom, you're at $500 a month residually.
Wow.
Residually, that's
And and
500,
and and
and
and,
all you
and then
have.
it starts, and
Yeah,
and the thing is, I think with such an amazing educational platform, um, you start getting addictive even to the culture of the platform, the culture of
absolutely.
the people, the culture of the meetings. And, I think that's another thing. Having that community is so important, because I had
Right.
somebody, two people today actually, that they're like, well, I don't, I want to make the money, like this building thing you're talking about, but I want to know what I'm talking about before I want to understand what the whole Forex thing is. I want to learn myself
Yeah,
first. And
absolutely.
then, I want to dive into that. And I was explaining to them that, the culture helps you with that. Like,
Right.
you'll have those one or two persons that say, well, okay, guess what? I'm only paying for it for 2 months. I'm going to learn what I can and I'm gone. Well, fine. But it's nicer to trade with many than it is to trade by yourself,
Absolutely.
and to be
Absolutely.
able to bounce ideas off. And I was mentioning to them even about the training that we had night before last.
Hmm.
A gentleman who dived in, learned the things, like he said he'd been in other platforms, said, I'm not gonna learn to trade, but this time decided, guess what? Let me take advantage of this amazing educational platform that we have.
Right.
Did so, and now
Mhm.
he's just showing us some tricks of the trade and sharing with us, like, and I think that's what builds. Like, if all of us just do what even Coach Megan said, which is when you have 5 minutes, because that's another thing people are going to say. Well, I don't
Right.
have time to do anything. Well,
Exactly.
guess what? We're not saying dive in 10 hours a day. What we are saying, if you got 5 minutes or 15 or 20 minutes
Right.
extra per day, do you, do
Exactly.
you, which will build you, which will assist you in the long run.
Correct.
And then what do you say to those persons? Like, because I had a few persons today say, I don't know anybody.
Well,
I know nobody. I don't know nobody.
yeah, that means that they're not that means they don't have a cell phone. They don't
Well,
have
that's what
family
I wanted to
members.
ask the person. I was like, so how many numbers you got in your phone? Three, two,
Man,
mommy,
I'm telling
daddy,
you.
uncle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I get it because people automatically start to think about the people that they think would be interested as opposed to just talking to everybody
Hmm.
in their circle. And that's natural because I remember, when I first got started all those years ago, that was my thought process. My
Yeah,
sponsor told
and
me,
I
hey,
love that you say that because that's exactly what I told the lady today. I said, well, you have to step back at this point and you cannot judge anybody.
right,
I
that's
said,
it,
you literally have to jog the memory first. I said, it's that cashier at the food store that every time you go in, you say good morning, she smiles, you smile, don't know her name, she don't know you,
right,
but you start opening your mouth, just
yeah,
volunteering, opening your mouth. And then after speaking to her, she then said, oh, I'm a event planner.
hmm, there it
I mean,
is,
how you mean you don't know nobody? I
for
said,
real.
nah, you might be like me. I don't know nobody, but people know me.
Yeah, but but that's the thing. People automatically prejudge who they think might want to be
Mhm.
interested, might be interested, and might not be interested, instead of doing, a data dump, if you will. Just get
Right,
anybody and everybody's name out there, and you start making those phone calls, and we kind of train you and show you how to get that done, and then we just plug them into the system. I mean, we have a proven system of success here. And the reason why I say that is because we've run this playbook once before. And it's exact same compensation plan, but it was nowhere near as lucrative as it is now. But when Megan and I and Mr. James Wiggins were in another company a couple of years ago, and I'm kind of mad because I didn't even know James was in that company. James, me and you got to talk, buddy. No, but when I was in there, I saw some things with the compensation plan, and I knew it was just lucrative. I'm like, oh my god, this thing is absolutely incredible. And in less than 30 days, in about 3.5 weeks, I was already somewhere between 20 and $25,000 a month,
wow.
in that short amount of time. And in 90 days, Megan actually started a little bit before me. So in 90 days for her, she was already at $100,000 a month in
Oh
90
wow.
days.
Wow.
Right. And the team was doing about, a million, $1.2 million a week, as far as
Right.
team volume and commissions paid out. So
Mhm.
once we really locked arms again in this particular platform, and saw what it was, we were like, listen, we're gonna do the same thing in half the time. And instead of one person being at $100,000 a month, and hopefully we're not blowing anybody off the call with these numbers, but instead of one person being at $100,000 a month, we're gonna have many people
Right.
at $100,000 a month, because the ultimate goal is to be at $1 million a month. And but it all starts with, helping those people that just want to make an extra 500,
Yeah, because
showing them.
everybody else, everybody's goals and belief, like you said earlier, is
Yeah,
it depends. It's where your
exactly,
belief lies.
exactly.
Um, I know for me, Tim, one of the things that attracted me to you was your sense of integrity. That just
Mhm.
that constant integrity in every business you and I have been in together, partnerships we've been in. It's the integrity that's always stood out for me. What would you say about the levels of our CEO, our COO for this company? Like
Oh man.
seeing who they are as individuals.
Yeah, man, that's the first thing that I look at too. Whenever I'm a partner with anything, I got to look at the company as a whole, and I want to know what the leadership team looks like. And if the leadership team lacks integrity, I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But Mr. Wiltz, this gentleman made millions of dollars in the fintech industry. He's a very, very, very much well off. His family is well taken care of. So he's not even building this thing to try to get rich all over again. He's already there. He's already wealthy. And the difference between rich and wealthy is rich, you still working for your money. Wealthy means your money is working for you. And he's already there. So he is 100% about the mission. Is definitely about mission over money for him, and that's one of the things that I love being a part of, because if the mission is right, then the finances will take care of themselves. And
Right.
then, of course, Mr. Courtney Logan, who's the chief operations officer. This is a gentleman that was a board certified attorney. He was also a city manager of the city where he lived and grew up. He didn't have to come into this space. He's another gentleman that was well off. He had his own financial literacy platform. He had his own financial literacy school that was like a $25,000 or $30,000 school that people were paying $500 a month just to have access to him to learn what he knew. He's one of only 1,400 people in the entire United States that holds a Series 3 and Series 34, which just simply means he knows everything there is to know about what it is that we're doing here.
Wow.
And for him to put down his legal practice to be a professional trader, and then for him to put his platform inside of this company, him and the leaders here spent $4 million of their own money just to make sure that things were
Wow.
right before they even opened the doors. That shows the integrity of where this company is and where this company is going, and it's only going to get better because like I said, I've been a part of two other companies like this that were financial literacy companies, but like you said, the platforms weren't even ready. I mean, you would go in the back office and you would have maybe two videos that tried to explain stuff to you, and then when you get on a live trading session, you on with somebody that barely knew what they were talking about. But that's not the case here. You have a full curriculum in the back office that's going to take you from being a preschooler of trading all the way to, you'll have your master's degree in trading by the time you're done with that curriculum. And just the integrity of them putting that together, because a lot of times guys that own companies like this, they don't want to teach you everything because they want to keep you dependent on them.
Right.
But here, totally not the case. They want to teach you everything. So, at the end of the day, you have a skill set in a trade that you can pass on generationally.
Yep.
And that's what it's about. It's about that generational wealth. And these guys are 100% behind us, and they want to see each and every one of us succeed and get to whatever that number is for them. If it's as little as $500 a month, then great. If you're like me and you want to see what it feels like to make $1 million a month, $250,000 a week, then they support you 100%. I don't know about y'all. I've never felt 250,000 a week, you know, uh, but I want to see what that one feels like.
And you don't have a problem with trying to see how it feels. It's
Nah,
all good.
nah, man, I'm not. I don't have a problem. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there. And all I'm saying is, just grab on to my coattail. I'll get you there. I'll get you there. So yes,
So with all this fantastic learning, this educational system that we have in the back there,
sure,
we didn't even tap into the app
right,
that we have and the
yeah,
signals.
for sure,
And for anybody that's on this call, anybody that watches the replay, if you've been in those other companies,
right,
y'all know exactly how much you know had to pay. Pardon my Bahamian dialect. It was going well into the twos. 'Cause
exactly.
I remember when it started at 125, then they
Mhm,
added another 40 for an app, then they
mhm,
added another 30 for this app, then they added another 20 because you want this over here. And it
mhm,
became like a la carte to the point where you was paying over 200 and something dollars a
yes,
month. A
right.
month. And sometimes at the end, you still didn't know what you was doing.
No.
You were like, what? I've been there. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying this to insult or talk bad about other companies. I have been there, me
Mhm.
personally.
Right.
And how much is this? How much is this platform?
Well, I'm
So,
glad
because
you
hold on,
had it.
let me start again. Hold on, let me do the dramatics. So, Mr. Trahan, this
Yes.
platform has to at least be what, 275, 275 a month, 500
Not
to
even.
get in.
Not even. Not even. Not even close.
What are you talking about?
Not even close. Not
Okay,
even
go
close.
ahead, take it away. Tell me how much then.
So, guys, this platform, like I said, we're talking about over $30,000 worth of education in the back office, and not only do you have access to all of that, but you also have access to the live trading sessions, to the live education, and all of that. And if you miss a live class, then it's always archived. So that's
Hmm.
fantastic in itself. But you have all that access, and it's $150 up front, and it's only $99 a month now. Right now, though, and for a limited time only, and I have no idea when they're going to take this away. So don't ask me. I promise, promise, promise. This is not one of those sales ploy things, because I don't believe in selling people on anything. Um, I believe in being 100% transparent. So I'm not trying to, bamboozle anything on anybody, because I believe if you got to convince somebody to come, you got to convince them to
Convince
stay.
them to stay, convince them
Yeah,
to pay their monthly auto-ship, drag them
absolutely.
along, call them, oh, by the way, oh, did you know you didn't?
Yeah. So no, we're talking about right now the 150 is waived. So you literally could start just with the $99 and pay $99 a month.
So
But
you mean
remember,
for with one single note,
one,
$100 note,
that's it.
I could change my life? I mean,
Change
I
your
know,
life.
guys, I know y'all sitting there going, oh, here she goes again. No, seriously, guys,
Yeah.
with $100 note at this very moment, right now, and like he said, we can't tell you when it's going to end. At this moment, it's right on. It's on now.
Yeah.
At this
Come on
moment,
now.
as we're
Right.
talking at 8:12 on the 10th of February, it's on
That's right. That's
with
right.
$100 bill.
Yep. And then the worst case scenario, still it's only 150. I know one platform that I was in, and I don't want to say the name of the company because that company is still in existence. I paid $1,000 to start, and I was paying 299 a month,
It's crazy.
and it had all of the other things that were, one second. It had all of the, yeah, that's my janitor coming in. Yeah, I have some trash right there. Thank you. Um, uh, so that's what I was paying. $300 a month cost me $1,000 to get started, and I might have made a total of, I don't know, $600 or $700 after spending thousands of dollars.
Right.
And but it was the experience of being in that, and really truly understanding and beginning to understand what the financial markets was really about. So I'll be honest, I fell in love at that point. Everything happens for a reason. I fell in love with financial literacy at that point, because I began to understand what the markets are doing and all of that stuff. So for us to be able to have 10 times that education, and 10 times the access of that for $99 a month. And then once, like I said, once you show three people how to do the same thing,
It's free.
your education is free. And then once they duplicate that, now you're making $500 a month. I
Hmm.
mean, it's a no-brainer. And that's just, like I said, that's just the beginning.
Yep.
500 bucks a month. We had a young lady who came on. She was on a call earlier that morning, had a call of her own later on that night, and by the end of the day, she had already made $500 that
Wow.
quick. You know what I mean? So we're not telling you stuff that we're speculating on. We're telling you stuff that's literally happening every single day. So yeah, it's
Wow.
it's 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 just absolutely amazing.
Wow. I am absolutely blown away. So how do you think, because it's so affordable, do you think the company still will stand on solid ground?
Oh yeah.
Having such a
Yeah,
solid,
absolutely. And the reason why is because we're talking about two multi-trillion dollar industries.
right?
We're talking about having access to the best education and educational platform that's out there. I challenge anybody on here to find one that's better. Um, And then, of course, how the compensation plan is put together is 100% profitable for the company, and it's 100% profitable for the people who choose to want to build it. But you're going to have people on both sides of the fence, and I didn't even talk about the algorithm, the digital platform for those folks that
Hmm. Yeah, like
just want.
we didn't even touch
Yeah,
on that one.
we didn't even talk about that. So it's a platform inside of the business, inside of the education, that if you know people that don't want to learn how to trade, but they want to put their money in something and allow the money to generate on its own, we have a platform that has a digital algorithm that's going to
Hmm.
do all the trading for you. Of course, on the crypto side, because you can't have that type of platform in the U.S. For
Forex.
forex, correct, forex, because that's illegal, because you cutting all the brokers out, right? We got to make sure the brokers still make money. But outside of the US, they have those type of platforms. So but here, if you want to have a kind of like your own 401k that you totally have 100% access to, and you don't have to wait till you retire to touch the money, as your money is earning money, if you want to take money out, you absolutely can. Then we have that digital platform for you that'll actually trade on your behalf, and that's a whole nother side and a whole another part of the compensation plan. If I talked about that, everybody will start hanging up because they're
Yeah,
really not
but see
getting
that, because see that's the thing. You can't say too much because then
right,
people is thinking you know
right,
you're talking crazy. You
right,
know, you're
right.
talking crazy because it's
Yeah,
too much for people because their belief system is not there yet. And
correct.
I know another thing we didn't even touch on this evening, and we'll wrap it up so that persons can at least get that 45 minutes juicy in, about how you have we learn so much about ourselves in
Mhm.
network marketing.
Yes.
you know uh you edification, and
Mhm.
you're always learning. It's not, and so some people say, oh, network marketing. No, but it's like we are becoming better people as
Yes.
individuals, and then also you learn to serve people,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
all sorts of characters,
Yeah.
and you learn sometimes people characters that ain't the greatest. You have to like become a leader if
Mhm.
that's where you want to go, and you have to just make sure that you're advancing yourself in that way so
Correct.
that you can make yourself a better, stronger leader.
Yes.
And constantly reading books, reading lots and lots of books, listening to audibles, and changing your life. And so
Right.
I love the fact that we have those afternoon calls where we as leaders, or those individuals that say that they want to go up the ladder, are made accountable,
Correct.
basically on a daily basis. Even though they say
Yeah.
it's pop-up meetings, it's like nearly every day
Correct.
where we're made accountable for what we're doing.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think
Yes.
that goes back to what you were saying in the beginning. Why does it get a bad rap? Well,
Mhm.
because that was not in place.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
things just like that were not in place. And so, yeah, it would get a bad rap because they don't know what they're doing, you
Correct.
know?
Correct. And I
So,
would say, just to piggyback off of what you're saying, the industry as a whole, I love what you said about personal development. The industry as a whole is a huge personal development platform with an awesome compensation plan attached to it. So what does that mean? The more you personally develop, the more you learn, the more you earn. I know that sounds like a euphemism, but it's absolutely the truth. So the more that you get the knowledge to be more and more proficient and professional in this industry, the more your income grows. And it's awesome when you have systems in place. That's why I say I believe in being system driven and not people driven, because people will quit and systems will still be there. So if you plug people into those systems and let the system itself drive the production, it
right,
doesn't matter if the sponsor just happens to fall off and go away, the system's still in place. So
right,
when you plug in folks into that system, absolutely incredible. The bad part was when people stop plugging in. It's kind of like plugging a light into a socket, right? As long as it's getting that electricity, you can turn it on whenever you want to, right? Even though the bulb hasn't blown out yet, you can turn it on. As soon as you unplug it out the wall, I don't care how many times you click that switch, it's not getting the electricity. It's not getting fed. It's not plugged in. you got to plug it back in. So in order for you to really truly grow and benefit in this industry, you got to stay plugged in. And as long as you stay plugged in, you're getting the information. Your journey will be different than mine. You might come in right away and your very first company, you blow it out the water and get to 10, 20, $30,000 a month, right? Took me a little while to get there. But I did. I got there, right? And so my question to everybody on here that's listening right now, if we can show you, right, how to get to whatever your financial number is, whatever that number is. It could just be 500. You could just be trying to put together a savings account for your child or grandchild or something like that. You might have all the money that you could ever need, but you need something a little extra to put away for your kids. And if we can get you to that financial number, following the steps that we have, what will stop you from at least trying it out, getting in, sticking your toe in the water and seeing what this industry is all about? Because I guarantee you, if you follow the steps that we have in place, a real 7-step system, super easy to do, but it's easier not to do. Let me put that in there, right? It's super simple to do, but it's easier not to do. But if you do it, you'll get the results. You'll get the results.
Right. Well, listen, Tim, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being my first person that I interviewed. And hopefully one day I'll be able to interview Stormy and,
Oh, wow.
Megan Lynch, all
Yes,
of
yes.
everybody, across the board, all of those industry leaders that have been done, gone before us, paved the way, showing us how, keep showing us how.
Yes.
And, as I love how Megan always says, just listen.
That's it. That's it.
Just listen. And then it's so funny when I heard Megan say it the other day, then I was watching a YouTube of Stanisha, and Stanisha's like, I love you guys, but y'all just need to listen.
Yeah,
Like, just listen. Like,
that's right.
listen. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so I think that we got to get it, that the capacity in network marketing is absolutely amazing. Always look at the leadership, look at the company, look at the core values of the companies that you decide to get into, do your due diligence, and jump in to whatever company you decide. Tonight we're talking about BFX Standard, which is an exceptional trading platform, educational platform that can absolutely change your life.
Absolutely.
And like, Mr. Trahan said, at this moment, the 10th of February, we have a special that you can get in for $100. Hello. So
Yeah.
for everybody that hears this, get back to the person that sent you the link. They will send you their link that you can, place yourself, get placed into the system for
Mhm.
free,
Yep.
and then you can upgrade. You can then
Absolutely.
upgrade and go from there. So, Tim, do
Absolutely.
you have any last words?
No, I just want to say for all of you guys that took the time out to, come listen to this crazy guy that got a sweatsuit on that just came out the gym, to talk to you a little bit about this amazing, amazing company. I want to say thank each and every one of you for that. For all you guys that are on here that's going to decide to partner with us, look forward to working with each and every one of you guys personally, shaking your hand, and looking forward to seeing what your success is. But let me tell you something, guys. Dr. RuthAnn didn't say a lot about herself, but she is one of the most amazing people that I've ever had the opportunity to come across. In the same way, like she heard my voice on calls, I would hear her voice all the time. And it's just absolutely amazing what she's able to do. I'm not going to steal her thunder. She's going to tell her story, and you guys will truly understand her story one day, and you will understand why I say she's absolutely amazing. So, Dr. RuthAnn, thank you so much for allowing me to be the first, right? It's
The
only one
first,
place,
the
right? I'm
first.
number one, right? So thank you so much for allowing me to be the first on your platform. And let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's
And
lock
it's
on.
so funny
Let's
just
go.
now when you said the first, I'll never forget in my former opportunity, or my opportunity that in health and wellness that I'm in. I remember you used to call me, RuthAnn, you got to hit the next rank. You got to be the first. RuthAnn, you got to
That's it.
be first. RuthAnn, you got to hit the next rank. Be the first. And literally, guys, as he said it, so
Yep.
said, So done. Like
That's right.
literally, I was the top of the company, still the top of the company as of today. So trust me, and that's in health and wellness. And so, guys, I'm telling you, be the first. Be the first in your family. You might not be the first in in the company that we're in, BFX, but standard, but be the first in your family to make a difference.
Absolutely.
To make a difference.
Absolutely.
So, please, please, please feel free to get back to the person that sent you the link and let's make it happen. Let's make
All
it
right.
happen.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Take care. Take charge, guys. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. You guys have
Definitely.
a blessed evening.
Thank you, guys.
All righty.